staff, we all know about staff resources, financial resources, and competing projects. To me, it's the big elephant in the room, which is money. Municipalities, we all know, have lots of competing interests. And the interesting part about planning departments is we do this planning, but we don't actually build things. Engineers build things, the Parks Department builds things, and we have to work towards getting projects into their capital budgets to make things happen. And I think one of the most important things that's going to happen to make that occur is getting council to endorse this plan in some fashion. Sometimes councils, will receive a plan because they can see that it could send them down a particular route. And I can see Angela sort of smiling at that because she knows what this stuff means in a municipal framework. And one of the things that I'm hopeful we'll be able to do is in this Sheldon Corridor Action Plan, which is going on right now, and that's really following up from the RGS, which is the Regional Growth Strategy, and the our Sustainable Saanich Official Community Plan, and then how do we implement our major growth centers, and Hillside, University Heights, that Sheldon Corridor is one of those. And we're at a pivotal point now because that planning is ongoing. We've got a member of the steering committee here today. And how we're going to, or if we're able to put this plan into that plan, or at least make mention of it, get that connection going so that then it becomes part again of the Saanich Official Community Plan. And I think that's going to be key for the implementation because then council endorses or adopts as a bylaw our official community plan. So it's really important to link those two things together. It's an urban watershed, so that is another big issue because, of course, most of it, as everybody said, it's very heavily developed. And we're going to have to continue with education there because there's lots of limitations in that watershed and how we're going to move forward. Yeah. Taking the proven, safe, cheap route. We talked about that, Adriane and I, when we were putting this together, and engineers are right now in this watershed replacing wood stay pipes. And they're looking at how to do that. And of course, one of the ways is that pushing the new line through. Of course, this plan talks about opening the daylighting the creek, opening that up. It's a real challenge for us because right now I don't think our engineers want to even have that conversation. Jody's been talking about conversations lots today, and it's expensive to open up a creek. It's time consuming because you have to work with all of those private property owners. Is there enough land to do it? How deep is the pipe? Because of course, the deeper the pipe, the wider the creek, the wider the riparian area has to be to make everything fit. So I don't know how quickly we're going to be able to get to having that fresh look at some of those challenges. There's right now we're looking at a pipe just south of Mackenzie, where the creek has been put into a pipe going up towards the university, and I think it would be a real challenge for the municipality to look at something different, but we might have a conversation, but how far we're going to get, I don't know. So that's one of the issues. Most of the creek not being on public land, we've talked lots about acquisition, and I was involved in the very beginning, back in 2002, I guess it was, when we had those initial meetings and created the first management plan. And one of the things I kept talking about, everybody wanted to daylight. And I kept saying, well, yeah, how are you going to do that? Where are you going to find the money to do that? And maybe it's through that long-term redevelopment that may take place, and I don't know what the Shelburne Valley is going to look like if we densify, but maybe there's going to be some opportunity if there's some big new developments. There'd have to be a lot of land acquisition, a lot of consolidation, and if you've got a big enough development, maybe you've got money to do something different. Maybe you've got money to put the development over on this side and open up the creek here. And the pictures that are illustrated here that Scott Murdoch did. That's part of the thinking in that. Paved over Flashy Creek, you know, Joni talked about that, poor native soils. I don't know what we're going to do about that in this area. A lot of it's clay, but maybe we'll hear about more changes that individuals can do on their own lots to bring in soils that will absorb more of the rain.